Hi, we're here with David Garabrandt from the University of Michigan, who recently published a study on childhood cancer rates surrounding natural gas development in Pennsylvania. And David, if you could sum up your study in just a couple of minutes or a few sentences, what would you like people to take away from the research you've done?
We looked at cancer rates in children, looking at all childhood cancer, leukemia, and brain cancers, to see if they were associated with living in the counties where there's a lot of oil and gas drilling, and particularly hydraulic fracturing in Pennsylvania. We looked at that both before and after hydraulic fracturing was done, or before and after drilling was done, to see whether there was a change in the cancer rates in children. And we also ranked the counties by how much drilling was going on. So we had counties where there was no drilling, and then 4 categories going up to the counties that had the most drilling, more than 2,000 wells. And so we looked to see whether cancer rates in children increased with increasing amounts of drilling. And what we found was they didn't. Okay. There was, as you would expect, variation in the numbers. So the cancer rates, went up and down a little bit before and after. There was no convincing pattern of increasing cancer from before to after drilling. And there was no pattern of increasing cancer with increasing amounts of drilling in the county. And so what we found was there didn't appear to be any association between cancers in children, leukemia in children, brain cancers in children, and gas drilling, oil well drilling, hydraulic fracturing, drilling in the Marcellus area, or any type of drilling in Pennsylvania.
That's great news. And there's a wealth of information out there on health, but very few studies at this point. There's more and more coming out. So as people are delving into that information online or wherever they're getting their resources from, what's one piece of advice you have for them in sorting through that and coming away with a good takeaway on what they're reading?
We see an awful lot of stuff in the news, on TV, in newspapers, and online, saying, there could be problems, there could be issues. And what I would say in response to that is, look for the evidence that there is. There's an infinite number of things that could be, but if we're going to make decisions, we make them based on evidence, we make them based on data, we make them based on scientific studies. And I would say, pay attention to the news, but look for the things that have actually been shown in the scientific literature as being based on evidence. That's going to give you a more reliable answer.
All right, thank you so much, David, for taking the time to come out here and talk to our communities, and for the research you did on them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.